Continuing our coverage of the auto pen scandal and those who enabled the deep state apparatus behind Joe Biden to continue to overthrow the will of the American people, we have now the man who told America that Joe Biden was mentally fit. He just confessed through silence. I'm talking about Dr. Kevin O'Connor, Biden's personal physician. He pleaded the Fifth Amendment yesterday when Congress asked about the president's cognitive abilities. So think about that. The doctor will not defend his own medical assessments under oath. Now, for years, he signed letters claiming Biden was sharp and vigorous while we watched the president freeze on stage and forget where he was. The Oversight Committee called it what it is, a conspiracy to deceive the American people. Democrats now building a resistance to fight Trump while their own president's doctor runs from questions. So who's really running the country? Well, we know Donald Trump is. But during the auto pen scandal, who were the characters? But the answer is becoming terrifyingly clear. So don't look away. While Biden's doctor hides behind the Fifth Amendment, millions of Americans are discovering they can't hide from aging. As we age, our body's collagen production declines, leading to visible signs of like wrinkles and sagging skin and joint pain. By our 40s, collagen levels drop significantly and continue declining yearly. That's why I use Ageless Multi-Collagen. It includes 5 key types of collagen, 4 premium sources, all hydrolyzed for easy absorption. No clumping, no odor, just smooth blending into your morning routine. Visit healthwithgary.com today and get 51% off your order plus free shipping. Your skin will thank you. That's healthwithgary.com. So we covered this yesterday. The video is now surfacing. Libs of TikTok posting. Watch the moment Biden's White House doctor, Kevin O'Connor, announced he was pleading the Fifth to all questions at his deposition about Biden's condition. He's part of the cover-up and knows it's indefensible.
Dr. O'Connor, before we begin, I would like to go over the ground rules for this deposition. The committee will conduct today's deposition in accordance with the House of Representatives regulations for the use of deposition authority, which were furnished to your counsel. This regulation is incorporated into the rules of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform at Rule 15, which was also furnished to your counsel. The questioning will proceed in rounds. The majority will ask questions for an hour, and then the minority will have an opportunity to ask questions for an hour if they choose. There will be one staff counsel per side asking the questions during each round. To the extent members have questions for the witness, they will be propounded during their side's respective rounds. Do you understand?
On the advice of counsel, I must respectfully decline to answer based on the physician-patient privilege and reliance on my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. I am not a lawyer, and I must follow my lawyer's advice in this matter.
So, gentlemen, we intend to assert both privileges with regard to any questions that would be asked at this deposition. And Dr. O'Connor will not answer any questions.
Can we go off the record for 1 second?
Dr. O'Connor.
Can we go off the record for just 1 second? Believe that. You heard him right there. I mean, if that's not an admission of guilt, I don't know what is. Here's what James Comer just posted. Biden's top enablers can no longer hide behind the power of the presidency. Americans are fed up with the lies about Biden's obvious decline. GOP oversight is bringing the truth to light. We won't tolerate obstruction. Joe Biden's doctor must appear.
His congressional.
Republicans are speaking out tonight about what they call an attempt to delay the investigation into the alleged cover-up of then-President Biden's mental decline. This one involves a key witness who has knowledge, intimate knowledge, of Biden's medical care. Our senior national correspondent Aisha Husni has that story tonight from Capitol Hill.
Tonight, House Republicans are threatening to hold former President Biden's White House physician in contempt of Congress as Dr. Kevin O'Connor tries to delay his congressional deposition set for tomorrow. In a letter obtained by Fox News, O'Connor's attorney is asking the Oversight Committee to pause and strike a deal on ground rules for the questioning to protect him from disclosing anything that could be covered by doctor-patient confidentiality. Writing, Dr. O'Connor has legal and ethical obligations that he must satisfy and for which violations carry serious consequences to him professionally and personally. The committee.
There's going to be some serious consequences regardless.
committee tells Fox it's yet another delay tactic to stonewall its investigation into an alleged cover-up of President Biden's cognitive decline. They say House rules allow witnesses to assert privilege on a question-by-question basis, but that it's up to the chair to rule on those claims.
It's our legal understanding that he cannot hide behind HIPAA laws or patient-doctor confidentiality. The White House has waived executive privilege.
Republicans want to know what tests Dr. O'Connor performed on then-President Biden and whether Biden's inner circle asked him to issue reports saying that he was fit for office, as they try to figure out if there was any misuse of the auto pen. And so, John, if Dr. O'Connor does not show up tomorrow, then the House Oversight Committee will begin its contempt proceedings against him for violating that subpoena. They also have on tap the former Chief of Staff Ron Klain and the former senior advisor Anita Dunn. They are set to be deposed later this summer.
Oh, and we'll be waiting for that. But as you now know, he pled the fifth. He tried to invoke doctor-patient privilege. As you heard, Comer said that he can't waive that. He can't waive HIPAA. So, of course, he leans on the fifth. And as you heard in that report, the White House waived his executive privilege for O'Connor in that hearing. Here's the letter that was obtained. Dear Dr. O'Connor, I'm writing regarding a subpoena issued to you by the U.S. House of Representatives, Committee on Oversight and Reform. In light of unique, extraordinary nature of the matters under investigation, Trump has determined that an assertion of executive privilege is not in the national interest and therefore is not justified. President Trump has determined. President Trump has determined. I love it. Ain't that beautiful? Okay, we got this. 3 hours ago, James Comer posting this. When Joe's doctor was asked under oath whether he'd been instructed to lie about Biden's health, he pled the fifth. When questioned under oath about whether he believed Biden was fit, he again pleaded the fifth. President Trump is right. This is the biggest scandal in Oval Office history.
Ever told to lie about?
There was a doctor in Washington today. No, not Dr. Jill. That's still to come. Biden's personal doctor, Kevin O'Connor, finally went under oath, but he folded like Biden's beach chair. Primetime got the tape. Watch.
Dr. O'Connor, were you ever told to lie about the president's health?
On the advice of counsel, I must respectfully decline to answer based upon the physician-patient privilege and in reliance on my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. I am not a lawyer. I must follow my lawyer's advice in this matter.
Seems like a pretty simple question. Did you lie about the auto pen's health? Yes or no? O'Connor pleaded the fifth 14 times in 20 minutes.
I must respectfully decline to answer based on the physician-patient privilege and reliance on my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. On my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. On my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. On my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. On my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
What's O'Connor hiding? When the truth's harmless, no one hides behind the fifth. He's got a lot to answer. Like, why did Biden take more COVID tests than cancer screenings? When did you find out about the cancer, O'Connor? Did you notice the president deteriorating? Did anyone help you write his medical report? If so, who? Dr. O'Connor swore an oath to do no harm, but the way he treated or mistreated his patient, the most important patient in the world, the president, harmed the president and the American people.
Wow.
And now he pleads the fifth and runs out of the room faster than Bowman after he pulled the alarm.
Dr. O'Connor, did you take the fifth at all points? Did you take the fifth because you're trying to cover up what the president's state was? Is he healthy now? Was he healthy when you...
Comer couldn't believe it. He's seen more honest testimony from Hunter's business partners.
What Dr. O'Connor did today only added fuel to the fire, that there was a cover-up and that Joe Biden wasn't mentally fit to serve as president of the United States. Most people invoke the fifth when they have criminal liability. And, that's what it would appear on the surface here.
Meanwhile, Democrats are doing CPR on the cover-up. Jazzy Crockett says Biden's fine. He just stutters.
He may get fumbled up by words, but that's not anything new, and it's not anything that came with age. We know that this is someone that was born with a stutter that ultimately had to get over it. If there's anyone that I am concerned about their mental acuity, it is the current occupant.
This is the biggest cover-up in American history, and Jazzy's defense is, he is. The White House didn't just respond, they unloaded. Quote, Jasmine Crockett has the brain capacity of a jellyfish and is the last person on earth to critique anyone's mental acuity, let alone intelligence. So while Jazzy Jellyfish protects Biden's mushy brain, Primetime got our hands on a new tell-all, and it's juicy. AutoPenn's aides thought the Her interview was a home run. Quote, Biden's inner circle thought the Her interview went fine. Some aides thought the president's memory could pose a problem. Others said it was just Biden being Biden and there was no reason to worry. Biden's team was more delusional than Dr. Jill on debate night. Hollywood played their roles too. Film producer Jeffrey Katzenberg told Joe to close his eyes and pretend he's on world tour with the Stones.
Oh my goodness. Wow. But did you hear what Comer said? People only plead the fifth when there's something criminal going on. And that's what it looks like here. And we all know it, too. Here we have this. This is Congressman Michael Cloud of Texas, who says, for years, Biden White House denied concerns about his cognitive decline. Now insiders and tell-all books suggest the full story wasn't told to the American people. So who was really making the decisions? Here he is on News Nation.
Are they legitimate or not?
I mean, if nothing new comes from these interviews, if they continue to say he was fit to hold office in his final years, even the things that we saw publicly, what then?
Well, it's important to know, as we go forward and as we, look at the investigations that are happening and definitely some of the policy impacts that have happened. And again, related to the pardons, are they legitimate or not? They were just on face value, the very broad-based, they stood out from what a normal pardon request would be. And for so long, we saw denials coming from the White House at every single level. And much of the media also denying that there was any sort of cognitive decline for quite some time until it was on full display during a debate. And then, of course, since he's not in office, we have these tell-all books coming out from the very insiders suggesting that there indeed was maybe not full forthcoming transparency from the White House during his term. And so this is something that's on the minds of the American people. We need to know who was really running things, who was making some of the decisions, and especially in light of what we've seen come out with the AutoPen issue, and especially surrounding the pardons, this is something that has an impact. It was not normal to see those kind of pardons coming out. And so, and then very much at the last minute and signed by an AutoPen, it's important to know whether or not the president actually made those decisions at the time.
I mean, if nothing...
Did the president make those decisions at the time? Well, clearly, it doesn't seem like it. 23 hours ago, Oversight Committee posting this. Let's see what Ranking Member Garcia said about Biden after the debate. Should be no concern. President Biden sharp is focused.
Debate. Do you have concerns about Biden remaining on top of the ticket after last night?
No concerns. I mean, there should be no concern. I don't have concerns. I mean, I saw the president before the debate. What? The president is focused. He's detail-oriented. President Biden, who I've been around numerous times just in this last year, is sharp. He's focused. He's bright.
You serious?
Yes, we can all agree that the debate was not his best night. Look, Joe Biden had a raspy throat last night. We all heard that. Who cares?
Was it a bad night for him, though?
I mean, look, obviously Joe Biden had a little bit of a sore throat. I understand that, he had a raspy voice, but like I've told folks, who cares?
Stop it. Get some help.
Yes, so the president may have had a minor cold. Yes, maybe the president's voice was a little scratchy. Who cares?
A nightmare. literally a nightmare.
Maybe time to.
That was actually posted by the Oversight Committee. They're posting memes. Yeah, but it's not a laughing matter. They are clearly in a state of resistance against the truth. And the Democrats are doing it now. Even this resistance boot camp. We covered some of this last night. The deep state's putting together a network of fired bureaucrats to plot rebellions and strikes against the White House, and they're using old CIA tactics to do it. Listen.
Most effective.
Democrats say there needs to be bloodshed to get attention. So now they're building underground labs and putting their foot soldiers through boot camp.
I've started something called Resistance Lab. It's a training on really the documented most effective ways to counter Democratic backsliding, nonviolent resistance tactics to build that movement.
A couple of months ago, Mad Maxine Waters, no relation, said Republicans were training up in the hills, but it's Democrats who are working out in labs. Dozed USAID staff are building a network and plotting rebellions and nationwide strikes. Reports say they've been passing out old CIA pamphlets titled Simple Sabotage. The strategy is to harass and demoralize the enemy. Primetime went inside one of these resistance labs, and General Jayapal is whipping her army into shape.
Governments and institutions together do not save people from dictators. The thing that saves people from dictators is the people. It is large-scale mass movements of people. If you have the moral high ground and you act with dignity, then anger is incredibly compelling and people will join you.
We're getting reports that the Abrams tank is flanking in from the south.
You send the U.S. Marines into spaces they should not be. You send the National Guard in. You kidnap people off of the streets and pretend that's normal.
So the resistance is building, whether it's in the depositions or elsewhere. It's happening. Jayapal says anti-Trump Elon Musk protesters should be strike ready and street ready. Congressional progressives join us for Due Process Denied, a powerful conversation on the Trump administration's attack on immigrants and the ripple effects of civil rights. Jayapal has said she's the most inspired when she sees people obstructing ICE. Here's Senator Marsha Blackburn.
And Nate, Kellyanne, I have never seen anything like this. And you're right. The ballot box, Congress, the courts, and now they're resorting to this violence. You even have Jayapal on her congressional site having a lab, a resistance lab, wanting to train people how to resist ICE and government. And she has taken an oath to support the Constitution. So they're not willing to work through the system, which does not agree with their position on issues. So now they're going to resort to violence and attacks on ICE. You've got many members of Congress that are being swatted. They're getting bomb threats at their homes. They're getting threats of personal harm. And all of a sudden, it's all about violence and saying this, get shot, prepare to get shot. It's really...
If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. When a president's own doctor won't testify about his mental fitness, we've crossed into constitutional crisis territory. Dr. O'Connor spent years gaslighting America, signing fraudulent health reports while Biden stumbled through speeches and got lost on stage. Now he invokes the fifth because he knows the truth would destroy them all. Representative Byron Donalds nailed it. The cover-up is indefensible. Meanwhile, Democrats like Pramila Jayapal are calling for protesters to be strike-ready and street-ready while their president's brain melts down in real time. Their presidents. They're not governing. They are inciting chaos to distract from their own collapse. Even after Biden's debate disaster, Ranking Member Garcia claimed, sharp and focused. It's not politics. That's participation in a criminal conspiracy. So here's the question. Should covering up a president's mental incapacity be prosecuted as treason? Yes or no? And while you decide, why don't you go and check out our merch shop. It's linked down below. We have President auto pen t-shirts, alligator Alcatraz. You can trigger a liberal today at shop.newsnetwork.com.